New Zealand continues to worry about earthquakes as more aftershocks and new tremors threatens the north of the country. The Wellington region of New Zealand are bracing themselves after experiencing their second earthquake in a few days. The first earthquake was a magnitude of 4.5 was felt in Wellington on Tuesday evening. It was centered 20 kilometers to the northwest of Wellington at a depth of 40 kilometers. However, 5 minutes later, another aftershock was felt in Christchurch, measuring 3.6 at a depth of 2 kilometers. 35 minutes later, another Christchurch aftershock was recorded, measuring 4.6 at a depth of 5 kilometers. This morning, just after 2 a.m., another earthquake with a magnitude of 4.7 was felt with a depth of 30 kilometers. The Wellington quake was widely felt in the North Island. In Christchurch so far, it was known that 163 lives had been lost to the rubble. Yesterday, it was learned that people of up to 20 countries would be among the final death toll, which would probably finish about 220. Niue government today confirmed that the island will fundraise to assist the Christchurch people, but in which area it is not yet confirmed. Acting Minister Dalton Sangilangi said, at present the government will await information on the developments in Christchurch before its decision to assist. We will bring you more on this news story in our future news bulletin. Government's plans for the replacements of Niue's high-voltage cables around the island are about to start next month, and the Niue Power Corporation staff are this week in training to build their capacity to undertake this big project. A training facilitator from New Zealand is on the island this week conducting training into types of tests that needs to be done.
The training I'm doing is to teach the technical people that work for Niue Power Corporation how to carry out those tests, and also to assisting and helping with cable fault location and some of the other electrical tests that are being done with that project, and also as part of the day-to-day work.
And part of the training is to teach staff how to use equipment properly to identify faults.
The abilities of the people who are working here is they have a lot of experience with the cable testing, but the training needs to help make sure that the industry practices are being followed, that the results are being recorded, and the training also includes providing assistance in analysis of those test results. So it's a little bit different to what the personnel here have been used to, but it'll enhance the knowledge that they already have. And those skills are very good.
Nick Chandler says that one of the greatest capabilities that staff at Niue Power have is the ability to react quickly, making the most of what is available here on the island, and that this is where all the great ideas and teamwork comes in handy. The EDF-10 project is due to start in April once all cable arrives on the next shipment, and will also involve Niue Telecom's fibre optic cabling as well as developments with the Niue water supply. Niue is getting technical support from FAO to develop projects under their Technical Cooperation Program. Paul Tomane, a consultant from FAO, is on the island to provide support analysis for the formulation of at least 2 projects for the Technical Cooperation Program that will be based on priorities that were developed during the Food Security and Sustainable Livelihood Program and Multi-Country Programming Framework. FAO aims to support member countries' developments and also for the revival of agriculture.
We try to, as in most of the South Pacific countries, we're trying to revive agriculture and put agriculture back to where it should be as a backbone of economies in the South Pacific. So for Niue, we have already identified one project that we are going to be, I will be putting together a proposal for Niue, this is value-added products. The department has identified that this is an area that needs to be developed. For Niue is to add more value to the agricultural products that are already here, like vanilla and nonu and all the little other small commodities that can be added value and can be sold either locally, and there is a potential for the export market in New Zealand. So once we get that going, I hope that the project will be submitted very soon, and if that could be going, then I think that would be a great assistance to the department right now. And I think for the second project, we trying to toss up whether it's going to be either concentrating on the farmers or maybe on fisheries. I think the department will decide that.
The Technical Cooperation Program projects are eligible for a maximum of $500,000 to be utilized over a period of 2 years. The aim of TCP is to ensure sustainability and impact. Paul says that the approval of projects will be dependent on FAO processes, which at times becomes quite tedious and may take a few months, but NIWE can also look at utilizing different pools of funds such as the telefood funds.
Telefood projects are smaller projects that go up to a maximum funding of $10,000 US. And these projects, they target the small community, youth groups, small groups of farmers. And that is, I think NIWE already has some telefood projects, but it's been very effective in Cook Islands and Samoa and Tonga have been very proficient in getting the telefood moving for it targets the rural communities and helps them with anything like chicken farms or piggeries or vegetable farms, even fisheries. So we're also in the process, NIWE is also in the process of submitting some proposals through the telefood project. You can use up to 50,000 for 1 year. So that's approximately 5 projects a year over a period of 2 years, because FAO works in a biennium. Every 2 years you can have up to $100,000 allocated to telefood projects for one country. So I think that's another area that could also be used by NIWE to use the funding that's available by FAO, not only through TCP but telefood.
According to Paul, NIWE is on the high priority list for FAO as a small island developing state that has yet to benefit from the various technical and financial support FAO has to offer. Yesterday, the current chairperson of the Pacific Island Forum Secretariat, President Sato Kilman of Vanuatu, addressed the Pacific region through a broadcast to all the University of the South Pacific campuses of the forum's establishment in the last 40 years and the role of the Pacific Plan as a regional instrument to guide the delivery of the Pacific's regional aspirations. The Pacific Plan, which all forum leaders contributed to, is also focusing on other actors outside of government and encouraging cohesive contributions for economic development. NIWE Premier Honourable Tokita Langi will also be discussing the presentation by President Kilman today with input from 3 other leaders of countries in the Pacific, and we will bring you more on this news story in our future news bulletins. And to end our news bulletin for tonight, NIWE Tourism's mini fishing competition finally got off to a great start yesterday morning with a few waka and boat fishermen heading out to sea to catch the big one. The competition that was postponed from last weekend due to the weather and sea conditions got on the way in the early hours of the morning. NIWE Tourism says that it was also good to see some from the outer villages competing. But at the end of the day, fishermen rushed back to shore to bring their catch and see how their efforts fared. In the boat category, the heaviest pelagic species caught, a wahoo, went to Paul Paisisi, who also got the most pelagic species caught. Des Hipper caught the most bottom fish, and heaviest bottom fish caught, an amberjack, went to Paul Paisisi. The canoe category for the heaviest pelagic fish caught, wahoo, went to Simatanivesi, and the yellowfin tuna, Ricky Makani. The most pelagic species caught went to Pattaya Misikea. The most bottom fish caught, Onolima Meaula, and the heaviest bottom fish caught was caught by Mei Leo. Niue Tourism was very happy with the turnout despite the weather and sea conditions at the wharf, and look forward to more participation for future tournaments. The day's event ended with a barbecue and presentation of prizes at Clayton's Bar. And those are our news stories that we have for you this evening. We do hope that you can join us again for our next news bulletin next week.